I can write equations to represent real-world situations, writing and solving equations from situations. So it's giving me a phrase here, and it wants me to write it as an equation, okay? So it says 7 less than a number equals 10. So above the word where they said equals, I'd go ahead and put my equals, and I'd write my number 10. Now underline where it says less than, because they're not talking about the symbol, or it would say is less than, but they want to get 7 less than a number. I don't know how much this number is, so you'd be using the variable to represent the number that you don't know, but to get 7 less than that, I have to take away 7 from it. So that was a turnaround phrase that we talked about earlier in the year. So it is x minus 7 equals 10. 3 times a number is negative 6. In this situation where they say is where the equal sign will be. So I'm going to go ahead in the answer box and put equals negative 6. 3 times a number, again, since they don't tell me what it is, I use that variable to stand for what I don't know. So 3 times a number is 3x. 8 is the same as twice a number. Where they said is the same is where my equal sign will go. So 8 is the same as twice a number. So 2x will get me twice of a number. 4 minus 3 totals 1. For my totals is where I'll put my equals, and the rest of that one's not too bad. 4 minus 3 totals is equals 1. 12 added to 12 yields 24. Yields is the equals. So 12 added to 12 equals 24. Enrique and Levi together have 386 trading cards. Enrique has 221 trading cards. Levi has C cards. Write an equation you could solve to find the number of cards that Levi has. The best place to start whenever you're starting an equation, to me, is to start with the total. So since it said that they both have, or together they have 386, I'm going to put down my total, and then on the other side of equals, I'm going to think of what did I need to build to get there. So Enrique, they said, has 221, and with his cards and Levi's, which was C, together, so they're adding them, it totals up to 386. They just said write an equation that you could solve. They didn't say to solve. Number 2, it took Dimitri 90 minutes to download 4 movies. If each movie takes the same amount of time T to download, write an equation you could solve to find the time it takes to download each movie. Okay, so I'm going to start with my big amount. I have 90 minutes, but they said each movie, so I have these different groups, so I'm going to be dividing it by 4 to get the time that it takes for each movie. Number 3, Alejandra spent her birthday money on a video game that cost D dollars, a controller for $13, a memory card for $16. She had a $5 coupon. The total came to $75. Write and solve an equation to find the cost of the video game. Okay, so again, for me, it's easiest to start with the total. So I'm going to put equals 75. And then on the other side, I think of what did I need to build and put together to get to that total. So they're really asking for D, but that stands for the video game. She bought that and a controller for $13 and a memory card for $16. She had a $5 coupon, so a coupon will take away from the total, so I'll put -5 on that side. I would combine these like terms on this side. Those are all just constant, so I'd put them together. So this is 29 minus 5. All of that part is just a positive 24. Then I'd bring down what I had. Okay, so this is the equation to solve it for the cost of her video game, but this one said write and solve it. So since my variable is here, I would minus the 24 to make this positive 24 cancel out. D is, whoa. That is a 51, and this is dollars. Okay, on the next one. During their softball season, Jessica had double the amount of hits that Sam had. If Jessica and Sam together had 63 hits, write and solve an equation to find the amount of hits that each girl had. Okay, I'm going to start with the total. So if you don't know where to start for your writing an equation, find a total. On the other side, sometimes if they did not assign variables for things, you can pick which letter you want to use. Jessica had double the amount of hits that Sam had. Okay, so since I don't know how much Sam had, S is going to represent her. So now I have to write something that's going to represent Jessica. It said Jessica had double of Sam. So here is Sam. If I want to double it, I just multiply it by 2. Okay, so this stands for Sam, and this is for Jessica. It said together, so I was adding them to get that total of 63. They wanted me to write it, so I wrote it, and solve it. Whenever I have the same variable in different spots on the same side of the equals, I would want to combine these. So since this is a 1s and a 2s, I combine it to get 3s equals 63. They are multiplying by 3, so you divide by 3. S is 21. The question said find the amount of hits that each girl had. So I just don't solve the equation and then stop. They wanted both girls. So S stood for Sam. Sam had 21 hits. Jessica had double of hers. So Jessica, we had wrote 2S, and now I know that the S is really 21. So if you do 2 times the amount that Samantha had, or Sam, you get 42. Remember, together it said that it equaled 63. And if I check, yes, this does total up to be 63. So we wrote the equation, and we got the number for each girl.